We might shorten those as we go, but that should get us started. Slip on the inside. I'm going to taper this down on one end just a bit so it fits in this shape here. Curve that towards her nose. So taper another one. This one I'm going to put over here. So get them to seal on there, and then you can bend them where you need them. Okay. Shorter. Okay, so do some of your calculating, shortening, shaping before you slip those in there. Let's see where things are going. Okay, that's good. Let's slip those in there. Go ahead and score both sides here because it's getting a little small for my fingers. Slipping and scoring. Don't try to shortcut on your slipping and scoring, especially not on this process. We'll just go ahead and slip and score this part here. It'll be easier to get into this now. Okay. Tapered end goes under there. Tapered end goes into there. Okay. Get those pushed together. Okay. Very nice. Okay. So we'll have two smaller pieces to fill in here. So just kind of eyeballing those. So one there. There. Okay. So let's slip and score those together. We'll get those in there. Just trying to give a little bit of a personality here. There we go. Okay. That'll be part of our design. Also braces this piece together here. Okay, so we can do the same thing. Brace things from the back. It's better to use patches of clay to hold things down than to try to take slip and plaster the whole thing on the inside with slip, just because that can really weaken your design. So I'm just going to take this button here, use that to hold those pieces. Just gives it a little extra support. If you're to try to cover the whole thing with slip, it can really saturate your coils and create a weakness, structural weakness that'll start to collapse. Okay, let's do our nose here. Okay. Kitty noses are kind of an upside down triangle, and this breed has a very flat, squishy nose. So I'm pinching it to be very skinny, give it a very sharp profile. Just go about there. Squish that into shape there. Okay. All right. It's starting to look good, huh? Okay, we've still got some coils left here. And if at any point you guys are like, I get this, and you don't need to see more, you can always speed ahead or skip this part. But for people who want to hang out and see where we go from here, I will get this up to her eyes. I'm not going to do any more than that, because if I started putting more clay on the front here, I think that would be too much weight. So remember, you only want to do about 2 to 2.5 inches at a time. After that, the clay will start to be too heavy to support itself. Okay, and if you need to, you can make some of the coils a little smaller, just to fit into spaces. Catch those on there. Okay, and this really follows the lines of her face. It gives it a much more interesting look using the technique, rather than just making a 6-inch tall vessel and drawing a cat face on there, or outlining her features just in coils that sit on top of the pot. Those are things you can do, but I think this gives it more variety and really uses the technique to its best advantage. So remember, you can taper, shape, squish. Okay. Always come back and smooth these pieces later. Okay, so I'll have a good base of support to put her eyes on there when we come back to that part. So I don't need that long. We'll shorten that down. Okay, so you can see it's basically symmetrical. We've got our nose here, outline of the mouth. Okay, we probably have slip and these little score marks. And this is more leather hard. That's when you can come back and do smoothing. I would let it, as it's wet and squishy like this, to kind of set up a little bit, because if you try to do a lot of blending while the clay is still very flexible, that can erase a lot of your design. So don't worry if it looks a little messy right now. Just make sure there isn't anything falling off or loose, If it is, you might want to brace it from behind. A little more dip to her nostril there. And then from there, I will probably come back and start coiling pieces that start at the beginning here and then wrap themselves all the way around, stop at the other end, come back up, and make it until it's the same level with the eyes. Okay.